Velina mai kako, welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps it aloha by remembering to always malama. I'm your host Kamaka, and I malama my mama, my father, my brother, sisters, aunties, uncles, and everyone in my life. And our guest today does the same and more. But before we introduce him, I gotta remind you to check out keepitaloha.com to get your favorite KIA merch. We got tons of options, so I'm sure you'll find something you like. But if you don't, and if supporting us financially doesn't work for you, please consider simply liking this video, subscribing to our YouTube channel, or leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It would mean the world to me. All right, let's introduce our guest.
What excites me is not just the creation of local jobs with all this farming activities that we have going on here, but the ability to take Maui coffee and share it with the world.
Our guest today is an influential Native-Hawaiian from the island of Oʻahu. He is the CEO and founder of Kanaka Solutions, which is the #1 security for surf events and more. He is also a father, husband, and Makaha beach boy. This Kanaka embodies the values of Aloha and Malama. And I am so stoked to talk stories with him today. His name is Kimo Leong. Aloha, Kimo. Welcome to the Keep It Aloha podcast. How are you doing?
Aloha. Aloha. Thank you for having me. But before we start, I just want to say, I apologize for that one comment I made. But again, it's like I just seen a split second on social media of what you said. Never watched the whole thing, but I did. And so, I'm an honest guy, and I gonna come to you and tell you, I'm sorry. I seen it, and then I understand. But again, social media can go left and right, especially if we're only looking at one split second of a video, But
Oh man, thank you. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate that. I understand, and I learned, like we were talking about right before the podcast. Like I learned so much just early on in the podcasting, just like putting out certain clips, because as me, I'm just like such an innocent, loving person, and like I'm not thinking of anything with like ill intention or to offend anybody. Because when I post it or cutting it, I'm like, I have all the context. So I'm like, I know what I'm talking about, And one of the greatest quotes that I've shared before is like, we judge others based on their actions, and we judge ourselves based on our intentions. So, people will see your action, but they don't see your true intention, right? So, just now, luckily it's been over a year, a long time since we had any controversy, all good comments. So I'm happy that I've learned about, certain things. So yeah, I don't blame you. And it's just one of those things that, I had to learn early, because, I don't want to make people offend and lead people to thinking that, we're trying to put out a certain message when we're not. So yeah, you and a lot of other people got caught up in that. And he's referencing the one clip we had, like probably, I think it was like 2+ years ago, maybe, about when I was talking. I'm pretty sure it's the one when I was like, oh, if you're not like Aloha Hawai'i, all this stuff, then like, yeah, you Hawaiian by blood, but like you're not Hawaiian in my eyes,
Yeah.
And that was just talking about like certain people who use the brand of Hawaii or being Hawaiian to their favor without actually doing anything for the lahui. So that's what I was talking about. But the clip that was posted, I think most people they focus on just the Aloha Hawaii part. Yeah. And there's so many things I could list on that list, but it was just like the first things that was coming up in my head.
I just, I guess, when I grew up, graduated in '86, it's like, it wasn't the language to take in high school. Even your parents would kind of sway you so that when you do graduate from high school, tourism is the #1 thing that supports the island, right? So, go learn French, go learn Japanese, go learn Spanish. And honestly, I've only had four. I think we only had 4 Hawaiiana students in our class for Anti-Kalama at University Lab, and we didn't get what's doing now, right? Like you get that everyday olelo. You're around the environment, so you can speak, you can learn, and can just keep the culture rolling. And we never had that before. So And that wasn't their first time comment. There's other people who make comments like that too, up personally, that feel like because they're Olelo, but they got to remember that there was a foundation built way, way long time ago. And everybody never had that chance. So for you to be in your space now, I think Brother Ace put it the best, right? You got to understand the past to know what the future is at the present time. And that's kind of where I came from when I responded to that comment or that video I seen. Is like, hey, well, these young guys got to realize, but that there was a foundation that we never have that atmosphere. We was just trying to get our culture back, and I still remember Auntie Trash making those comments, and I used to think that was crazy when I was in high school, that we are not Americans, we are Hawaiians. And I went to University Lab. I was right across the street from her when she made those comments, and I was like, wow, bro, this lady is nuts. But it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, all of us guys that graduated in the early 80s, mid 80s, I mean, we had the opportunity to try and be the first ones to take those Hawaiian classes that they offered at University of Hawaii. But that was a risk right back then. I wasn't too sure how long this will last. But look at now, it's just flourished. This is unbelievable. Sometimes I regret I never go that path. But again, things happen for a reason.
Yeah. And what I tell people is, like, we all have our own kuleana.
Yeah.
Like, I was born with the language. And even when I was born 93, it was still, like, I was in the second decade of the Hawaiian language renaissance at all my Hawaiian immersion schools. But it wasn't cool back then. Like, I talk about it all the time about, like, being in the grocery store, my dad speaking Hawaiian to me, and I'd be, like, embarrassed to respond back because I didn't want people to judge me and think, like, oh, what is this guy speaking? And it's not until, like, the age of social media the last maybe 10 years where it was like, it's cool to speak Hawaiian, right? Yeah. It's like cool to be Hawaiian, be from Hawaii, because you get all these benefits. You're looked at, like, in a higher status than others, which I don't think that's necessarily true. I think, like, for example, like, Hawaiian isn't something for me to, like, look cool. It's just a way of communication with my family. Like, that's all it is, which is why I have, like, an issue with, everything that goes back to, like, growing up and your traumas and, like, what affected you early. So, like, my thing was, like, I remember not feeling cool, like, being Hawaiian or speaking Hawaiian when I was growing up. And now I see people, like, trying to use it to be cool, which is, what I don't like. Me, it's just like, okay, what are you doing in your everyday life? What are you doing for the community? I think that's more important than, what we are on paper,
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's why I love what you're doing. And I respect the work that you do with your security, and, like, also as, like, a tour guide, as a a representative of Hawaii, because you work with so many people and they're getting a true Kanaka experience. They're getting the solutions, they're getting the answers, firsthand. So I think it's really awesome what you're doing, and I'm happy that we get to do this podcast and learn more about each other. And I remember even responding, because I saw the comment and I responded, I sent you a message,
Yes.
like, hey, uncle, like, this is not what it was meant to be. And then you responded, like, hey, much aloha, but you shared your story. And it's a very common story of people, like, not growing up and, like, feeling ashamed of, like, or inadequate as a Hawaiian because they don't have, this thing to, like, check off the box of being Hawaiian. And it's stuff that we talk about all the time, and where there shouldn't be, like, certain boxes you gotta check to be Hawaiian, that's the beauty of this space that we have, so we can share these stories. But I do want to start at the beginning and just get to know your life story. Start from where you grad, where are you from? Oh, sorry, where are you from? Where you grad, and what was it like growing up?
Well, I grew up in Camp Fort Road. There's my mom's a Lewis. We got a family lot over there that we still own. I got a little Holly over there that we rent. So I grew up in that little 5-mile stretch of KPT, Hollywood, which is Camp Fort housing, Lanakila housing, Kukui Gardens, Camp Kalmano housing, Merite housing. So we grew up in that area right there, and was blessed off of sports to get to go to University Lab. So I went there, played ball, basketball, football. Went to college on a football. Um, Went to University of Southern Oregon. Went to College of the Redwoods first up in Eureka. Um, and then went to University of Southern Oregon, finished my education over there, and was blessed that got the opportunity to actually leave the islands because not too many people would leave the islands back then. Everybody would stay home and play football. But my dad was really a person who pushed us guys to think outside the box, and there's more stuff to life than just this island right here. And I think the biggest lesson was to teach us guys how to treat other people, other nationalities. And so putting us guys like in Eureka, California, where nobody's your color. You're known as a Mexican over there. Put you in those situations, or Oregon, Klamath Falls, Oregon, used to have one sign over there that says niggas in that sundown, so that kind of stuff. I met people who take me home played ball with them, take me home for Thanksgiving, and just let me know that some of their family members is not really with brown skin. So just those lessons, teaching those lessons and learning. But I always grew up as a proud Hawaiian. Never really ever went off that path because of my tutu man. It's funny because I always think back, my tutu man never ate American food. Always had poi, always had fish, always had limo. Snacks was dry pie in one mayonnaise jar. And life was easy, and I still live that same easy life. Like, I'm a rich guy, but I rich in family, and I rich in what I do. And what I do is opportunities. I like to give people opportunities because people gave me opportunities. So help the needed. Like, you just came out of jail. Nobody ever hire you because you're a felon, you're a criminal. But, bro, they're good people. Believe it or not, those guys get the best people skills.
Yeah, totally.
And they work super good in security because they've been there, they've done that, and they get to see the other side of the good life. And so, I just take all these life lessons I've learned through Kalihi, growing up in Kalihi, married a Waianae girl, and all the lessons I've learned 35 plus years with the Kealanas out there and Uncle Buff. I can tell you some stuff that, being with Uncle Buff in his heyday, being with my cousin Rusty, and being able to travel, taking me to travel places that I've never in my wildest dreams that I would go. So, and being with Uncle Buff is like a historian. You know what I mean? It's a historian. I was blessed to be on that last, 7 to 10 miles of the voyage in canoe that went around the world. So I got to go from Mauna Loa Bay, coming to Magic Island with 25,000, 30,000 waiting for the Hokulea to come in with Uncle Buffalo Kealana. And it's amazing, bro, to just be around him and watch him. And it's amazing, too, that down there on the west side that we get a lot of Hollywood guys come because of my cousin Brian. He brings them, and, we surf whatever. And when they come, we don't really treat them like they're Hollywood stars, and we tell them to, one star over here. The only star over here is that guy right there, Uncle Buffalo Kealana. It's the only guy. You guys just like us guys, normal people. We're all on the same level. And so it's cool to see people like that, at that status, red carpet status, come down to Makaha and love it. Because there's any place else, they're always bombarded with, I want a picture, I want this, I want that. And I see that with Jason too, because we take care of him. And just being able to just relax and have family time with your kids and nobody coming up to bother you, like Jason go to Waikiki, we got to surround him and the kids because he can't even take his kids shopping without being bothered. Some people don't really understand that, but when you sit back and look, it's like, wow, bro, it's a. But again, you choose that life.
Yeah, it comes with the territory.
Come with the
right?
territory,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, you got to kind of pick and choose when you want to say hi, when you want to take a picture, when you want to sign an autograph, and when you want public time, private time. So,
Wow. There's like so much in just like that short little snippet that you just shared with all of us. First, I gotta go back and say I didn't know you're Lewis.
yeah.
So some of my close family friends in Hilo, the Lewises.
Yeah,
Do you know? Is that your
yeah.
family?
Yeah,
Kavika Lewis.
Kavika Lewis. So he's married to
Yeah, Anake Kaipuala.
yeah. Yeah. So we went. She went to.
And they're crabs.
She's a crab. She went to Midpack. Went to University Lab. We used to catch bus together. That's how I met her from my wife. We all used to catch bus together.
Wow.
Up to University Lab and where she went to.
No way. Yeah. So like my family and the Lewises, we kind of like mirror each other.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm classmates with Kanaka. My older brother is like close with Makaha. And then their younger siblings are like match my younger sibling age. So we all went to school together. We all grew up together. Like I was in school with Kamaka since preschool and all the way up to senior year. So and then we just love the Lewises. So yeah, Anakala Kavika, he's awesome.
They're
flourishing. They got the Aina University.
They're flourishing up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
they
cool.
went from behind KT store to where they at now,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. They've been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. I had no idea.
Just because my nephew
cool
Dean Boy Kaikuivi.
Okay.
So where the crabs live right here, right across the street is all the Kaikuhivis.
Wow.
Land over there. So.
Super cool. I didn't know about that connection. Yeah. And then also just going back to your childhood, growing up in Kalihi, which is like, we hear about it all the time, like the, KPT, Cam 4, like those are like the rough parts of, of, I guess, town. I guess that's what we'd consider town. But you, I guess, you're a success story where you made it out and like, you didn't, I guess, get stuck in that you didn't become another narrative of like, another person like from this one place. But I feel like you are a success story because I don't know if it's because of your parents that, really set the path for you, or maybe just like times were different back then because of all like, you had like aunties and uncles, grandpas, grandmas that like, your tutu man and that set you straight. Like, I don't know if it was different now because we hear only bad things about, that side.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff that's going on right now. And after our conversation the other day, or the first time you called, I was trying to think back, like, what went wrong? What was the year that like kids was having kids?
Yeah.
And it was kids was having kids in the 90s. And then that's when ICE came along, and somehow the families just got dysfunctional. And a lot of stuff. I mean, like a good example is that one on Maui, like, no matter if that's a young adult for a security guy, but bro, he older than you. Back in the day, if you was older than us, we respect you no matter what. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Or, bro, he gonna tell somebody that actually know your parents, and you gonna get it when you get home.
And if you never tell, then you gonna get the lickings.
So no more that kind of stuff no more. It doesn't. I mean, I think a lot of stuff nowadays, I like to call it soccer parents, because everything's all about just crying and you're getting, like, just do it. Like, even like when social media, they're just filming the guys, but they don't tell you the location, or they don't go out there and help the person, but they'll sit there and film the stuff the whole time. It's like, bruh, like, where's the I don't know. Yeah, it's a whole different road, and now I watch my daughter raise my grandbabies, and she's doing the same way that we did to them. You know what I mean? Just teach them right. Treat people with respect. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's what my dad used to always say. Treat people the way you want to be treated, bro. Because we had the good side, and a lot of my cousins and stuff wasn't the good side. And so again, it's like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be, you got to come visit me behind the bars. And, so I had a lot of good life lessons just watching growing up, all my cousins. We got big generation gap. You know, there's like 24 of them up high, and then there comes me, and then the next generation. So I've been able to watch a lot of stuff as I've grown up and try and go the opposite way, but also come back. Like my dad always has been. My dad was always bringing home 10 Samoans every Friday, Saturdays. They would sleep at our house. Right, he would pick us guys up from my grandma's house because Monday through Friday we would stay there. Thursday we would stay there, or Sunday through Thursday we'll stay there. I would stay there. Then they'll pick us guys up, and then we'll go back to their house. And so, you know, I watched him do that, and he would always say, "Hey, you always got to take care of the people who's not as fortunate as us. Yeah, you live over here. Yeah, it's a tough neighborhood, but Daddy can afford to give away $1 and not even blink."
Yeah.
Because that person needed it. And even if we had $5 and they needed the $4, but we still get $1 and we still gonna be happy. And so that's what I take in my life right now. Just and that's what we do. And it's crazy. It's crazy. All this stuff since you called me has been coming up in my head, and
as you're reflecting,
reflecting and thinking like, bro, why did this guy ask me this kind of question, this question, that? But again, I look back and just like your first words out of your mouth was malama. That's the word that's written, printed on the back of our shirts, says malama. And people ask all the time, right? And it's like, bro, that's what we do. That's what this company was built on. Without me even knowing it 20 years ago, I didn't even know it. That's what we was built on. Kanaka Solutions was just it just came up as a sitting down and drinking. And somehow people was always calling us guys to come and do this contest or go work this party and this. And then, you know, we was like, bro, you get one problem, we get the solutions, Kanaka Solutions. And that's kind of the road it took. And then, you know, we've been running with that for 27 years. Just keep going, just keep on going.
Yeah, I love the pronunciation too. It's the real pidgin kind. Yeah.
Well, I didn't even see my last video at Uncle Bob's contest, but I had so much DMs about it. It's like, bruh, I miss Hawaii just listening to this uncle talk pidgin.
For real. I mean, that's what we miss the most when we leave, right? Is like the people and the you know, our Hawaiian lingo, our Hawaii lingo. It's just it's really refreshing, and it kind of grounds you, but helps you just like, I don't know, you feel like you're home, you know? When I go out and I gotta, you know, speak properly, I can't say, oh yeah, there's choke food, or, you know, like, oh yeah, Bombay, you learn, you know? It's like you're almost changing like your identity for a second to, you know, it's not assimilate, but just to like, you know, you got a code switch. You gotta, you know, I'm not gonna say certain things to people because they won't understand.
Yeah.
So when you come here and you can like truly just be yourself and like let go. And I think that's like the best thing about being here is that you can really just be yourself.
I mean, you know, it is what it is, right? When you grow up, is majority of the time the way you are as an adult is what you learn growing up as a keiki or what you've seen, right? And so that's all I ever known, you know. I mean, just like all we ever known was white was haole growing up all our life, haole. And now people are like, you know, that's so racist. I was like, yeah, but that's how we was growing up over here in Hawaii. You know what I mean? That's all we knew. You know, you hear that from your uncles, your dad, your aunties, like, you know, that's all you knew. You know, blacks was called popolos. That's all we knew. That's what they called them. And now people say, oh, that's racist. Like, well, okay, yeah, I understand. But back when we grew up, that's what their name was. That's what they was called.
Yeah, but it was never a derogatory.
They're never a derogatory.
Exactly.
No, exactly.
It was never to explain. Like, like my mom, she's, you know, Hawaiian, Korean, whatever, but she looks white. So, you know, I said, oh, haole looking mom. Like, she's not haole. She's not foreign. She's not, you know. It's just to describe something. Like, hey, my popolo friend.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't think that it's I don't think it's offensive at all. Yeah. Especially if you know the real like popolo is just based off of the berry. Yeah. And it's a darker color, and that's what they use to describe the person, because that's how, like, back in the day, you don't, like, we didn't have things we don't have all the words to describe certain things, so you just use things that like make sense. If you look at the etymology of a lot of words, even in English, going back to Latin, and then you look at like Hawaiian etymology, it's like for example, bathroom, for Hawaiian, lumi ho'opau pilikia. It's literally, the translation is room where you get rid of your problems. Like that's all it is. It's just describing something. So that's all. That's just an example of like things we just use things to describe other things.
Yeah, you use those words. Sometimes I get caught up in it too. I mean, even this present day, they're like, I'm like, oh, sorry. I never mean to let that. They're like, oh, okay. I go, no, I never mean to let that.
Yeah, you just gotta watch out because there's a lot of more sensitive people these days.
Well, that thing too is like, like you just said, you gotta know when you gotta know when to use it and when not to use it.
The environment.
The environment you're in.
Yeah,
Like I come over here with one shirt on. Actually, in my car with one shirt on, driving up to town because I know I'm gonna come over here. Right? Normally, no shirt is not even in my car.
Yeah, the no shirt is your uniform.
Yeah, and so that's a good example for me. It's like I gotta remember, like, yeah, I gotta go do this. I better clean up, better wear one nice shirt or something.
Yeah. Awesome. So how was it when you first left? Because you were able to play football, right?
Yeah.
And wait, so going back to your dad housing like 10 Samoans real quick. Was he like raising some defensive linemen at their house? What was going on with that?
So I don't talk about what my parents was, but my dad was the vice president of Hawaiian Tel.
Oh.
So my dad, and that's back then, that's when telephones just started coming out. And my dad was a CPA, he's an accountant.
Wow.
My mom used to run Island Holidays, which is so I grew up in a tour business all my life.
Oh. So you were exposed to a lot, which is awesome.
A lot. Got to travel around everywhere around the United States because of my mom and my dad. But again, they always kept us grounded. Always kept us grounded. Always. Like, they had good jobs, but you never seen them driving one Mercedes or on BMW. Like, my dad was the vice president driving one Pinto car. You know what I mean? Like, my mom would drive, like, my dad would get her, like, one little nice car, but he always, like, he would never dress, like, wear all the top designer brand. No, he was never like that. Like, and so it's kind of like how I look at things. It's like, yeah, some guys got a lot of titles and they make a lot of money, whatever, but what do you give back to the community, to the people? And my dad always gave back. Always. Since I grew up, that's all we knew, is he was always helping people. And we never felt like, oh, wow, it's our older brothers. We just got more and more brothers as we went on. My sister would have her friends come over, and it just became one big family. And we still keep in contact with a lot of these people to this day. Asking about, checking on mom and dad when they passed away or whatever it is. But we had a fortunate life, but my parents would never ever let us guys get above of.
They always kept you humble, yeah.
Kept us guys humble all the time. Kept us guys in those situations all the time, knowing that can pretty much get what we wanted at any time we wanted, And so when they did buy a house out in Foster Village, it's like, oh, Pops get some money. Yeah, Pops get some money, but it was never about that. You know what I mean? Like, our house was always the house where after basketball games, baseball games, football games growing up, everybody would come to our house. And they would set up the tables in the garage, and all the parents would play mahjong, and all us guys would play basketball, baseball on the road, or skyini, whatever it was. I mean, our house was always the gathering place as we grew up. That's all everybody knew. Let's go to the Leongs, and that's how it always was. And so I grew up in that family lifestyle of taking care, right? It's like takes a village to build everybody.
Totally. And
that's what I grew up in. I grew up in a village of aunties, uncles, guys my age, the boys, all the girls. We grew up in a village, bro. That's how we grew up.
Yeah. Just listening to you talk, everything makes so much sense. Like, you were brought up with community, and what you've built is community. So it's because it's all you've ever known. And like, how everybody you said was your brothers and sisters, and even though they weren't blood, bro, you're Uncle Kimo to everybody, and not actual blood uncle, but it's just family. It's Ohana, and it's so cool that you got to, because you were taught that as a child. You know, we talk about how, you know, you just take what you learned in childhood and that translates to your adulthood. And luckily, you were able to take these positive times, moments, values, and, you know, bring that to your adulthood, to your business, to all the people around you. And I just think it's so cool. And, like, I'm having such a good time just listening to all these stories. I hope everybody is too. I just think it's so awesome, and because I have very little knowledge, just what I see on social media, and you know, you seem like Uncle Kimo, like, you know, and the movie that you're in, you know, you played yourself.
The same thing,
exactly.
That wasn't even acting.
That wasn't even acting. That's why it was so good, because you're just playing yourself, you know. On that topic, so how do people need to address you? Because in the movie, he's like, Kyla, and he's like, hey Kimo, nice to meet you, and it's like. You talk about Hollywood, yeah? How, like, it's Uncle Kimo to you, right? I don't care how many followers you get, how much success you get, it's Uncle Kimo to you.
You know, it's funny. That wasn't even written. I just threw that in there.
I figured that's because it's real.
But, you know, it is, right? It's like, I mean, it didn't matter to us guys as I was growing up. Everybody was our uncle. Everybody was our auntie. And it is what it is, you know. I don't take offense where guys just call me Kimo, or, you know what I mean. But again, the word uncle, you got to get used to that word uncle.
At what age were you first called uncle?
Maybe like when I got 50. So I'm 57 now. So
okay,
looking good. 7 years, but you know, I just think that, you know, generations is different nowadays, and hopefully within what we're building in the Lahui for all the different schools and all of the Olelo going and all of that, kids start going back to that and start learning respect about, you know, about the adults, right? I mean, I use a good example. And so I don't really, this is the first time I ever talk about it. Is so, you know, my dad was whatever, and he hated going to Waikiki, but we would always go surfing Waikiki. Every weekend, we take everybody. We go down there by the wall. We go surf, boogie board. And he hated it because never had parking before. So he joined the Elks Club. And back then, there was a 1 meter board. There was a baby pool, everything. Now there's none of that stuff at Elks Club. But any member, and there was literally 5, 6 Hawaiian men that was members over there. The Howley uncle on the bar would scold you, but you wouldn't even think twice about answering him back. That's just the way it is. He was an uncle, right? You made friends with him, and you just call him uncle, and he's, okay, sorry, uncle. I listened, you know what I mean? Because you knew he was going to tell your father, right? You know, because your father going to come back from across the street, whatever he did, come back, sit at the bar, they're going to have a few drinks, and go, oh, hey, by the way, your son will talk back, but you going to get it. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I just, like I said, I just try and live my life straightforward the best I can. But I also want to say that a lot of my life experience too, my kids got life experience because I did go left before, and I actually took them to court and watched me get sentenced.
Wow.
And learned that stuff. My wife dropped me off because there was a warrant for me. And she's in a car thinking, man, he's not going to come back. You know what I mean? He gonna have to stay in. They're not going to let him back out. And so all those life lessons, you got to learn from them, right? And I've learned a lot from them. And I learned to this day, you cannot do old school stuffs that we used to do before, watching your uncle them do, and what I got to admit that we used to do too. You cannot do that no more because these things called the camera.
Exactly.
And the phone. Right, people is fast.
Yeah.
And just when you think somebody's not filming you, somebody's filming you from some angle, some distance.
Yeah.
And so I've learned a lot in the last 4 or 5 years about, you know, just You gotta do things different nowadays.
Adapting to the
you gotta
new
adapt
world.
to.
Yeah.
You gotta adapt to the world, and I really truly believe in those last 5 years, communication, people skills has helped us de-escalate so much problems, and I use that for when mailing companies, production companies come down to hire us. I let them know, like, hey, you should always hire one local, cause when Howley, you come in front of mailing one Howley, telling one local at the beach that he cannot park there, he cannot sit or whatever, he's not gonna go good.
They say, shut up.
Yeah, not gonna go good.
Yeah.
Right? One uncle or another Hawaiian gonna get a little bit of understanding, and you can talk about it, and you can work it out, and make sure that both sides is happy. And but it's every day is a lesson.
Yeah.
If you're not learning in life, something's wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for get better in life and improve, you gotta learn every day, and I learn every day. I learn a lot every single day, especially doing the work that I'm doing right now. I learn a lot. I learn a lot about, I ask myself all the time, I go there for the last month, like, how the hell these people just disgrace the Aina like this, you know what I mean? Like, how? Like, what's the mindset? Yeah.
Yeah. And it comes down to education. Like, they don't know because that's what they're used to.
Exactly.
Some places, they just used to throwing opala on the ground, even though we hate that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, in my mind, I can't comprehend. Why would you litter? Like, for me, that's like, oh, that is taboo. Like, you never do that. Like, it's crazy for me to, like, see trash on the ground or to see other people doing it, because I'm just like, bro, you'd get lickings if you did that. But yeah, I think it's just, growing up in our culture, and you're talking about like hiring locals versus non-locals and stuff, and I think it's just the way we can communicate, going back to Pidgin and everything. Like, I just came back from Hilo for the weekend with my girlfriend, and one of the flight attendants, she was like, we were leaving, and she tells my girlfriend, hey, have a good one, sis. So, and I was talking to her about how certain words just really make us feel good. Like, there's these certain things, like if somebody calls me brada,
Yeah.
or if somebody says, hey, Hawaiian, like, those words make me feel so good. It just, like, my guard is down. Like, I feel so open to, if I'm coming up to you and I'm like, excuse me, sir. And you're like, If I say, hey, uncle, sorry, my bad. Can I get some help? That, it totally changes your demeanor.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're like, hey, auntie, mahalo, like, thank you for doing that. Like, it's just something that we know here that just, like, finds common ground immediately. Like, I don't need to know anybody in Waianae, but if I need help, I'm like, hey, uncle, sorry, can you tell me where this is?
Yeah.
Immediately, like, hey, yeah, for sure, brother. Like, oh, yeah, go right over there past the 7-Eleven, da-da-da-da-da. It's just something that, like, we have here that, like, is built into our culture. And that's why the local thing is, like, when you're talking about, like, you get one, Steve from, California doing security and say, hey, excuse me, sir, you can't park over there. People are not going to like that. And it's just, you don't know unless you grew up with this culture.
Well, and I glad my parents opened us guys up because of the, my mom and the work that she did in Waikiki, meeting new people, people coming from Nebraska and New York City, and like, they live different from us. But as a kid, when we were growing up, we was like, oh, bro, all these guys, yeah. But I'm just blessed, and I just hope my kids can continue, right? And continue the Leong bloodline and just keep it going,
Yeah.
And basically, like I tell my kids, bro, just treat people the way you like to be treated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's even to this day, I'm still not used to people always, at least once or twice a week, bro. The kids, bro, so beautiful. They're so generous. They're so nice. They always aloha everybody when they see us, but that's what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? That's what they're supposed to be doing, because that's what they was taught.
It shouldn't be a surprise, right?
Shouldn't be a surprise.
But because there's a lack of, it's like, wow, that young kid was very respectful to me.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's a surprise.
No, even now, my kids are older, right? And they tell my grandbabies, you know, my older ones, like, hey, you know, when we was kid, we would never get away with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go to the party, you gotta kiss everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot just go kiss one and then think you go no. You know, so just stuff like that.
And I see that even in my generation
just
too.
Small little things like that. You know what I mean? It's like, but it brings joy. I tell my wife, I'm like, wow, bro, that's pretty cool, Mom. That, you know, that's how we raise them. You know, and you know, my grandbabies, my older one, started to learn that now. You know what I mean? When he don't listen, now he's coming like, get over here. You don't run this house. I make the rules. Get over here. You know, just or flick his ear. You know, cause my kids used to be like this all the time.
But that's the change that you adapted to. Because before the communication was this. Now your communication is this.
Right.
Your words.
Oh man, I seen.
But maybe a little hybrid now if it's your own family, right? You can do both.
You talk about that. It's kind of crazy that you say that because, I mean, I watched my tutu lady used to use the water hose on us guys. And she would have on 3-foot water hose sitting there. My older cousins, but they used to get it, and I'll be like, oh, I would never want that. You know what I mean? It's like. But again, it's just learning generations, man. Generations, and it's kind of sad that I seen that video on that Maui security guard because, you know, what is he supposed to do? You get all these kids around you. You already know it's going to happen because they already never listen to you. And they're already coming to you with their chest up. So what you going to do? And, but, you know. It is what it is, right? It's perception, right?
Yeah, totally. So before we get into the social media question and we take a quick shishi break, I want to know how you got into like the surf community because that's a huge part of your security service.
That is 100% of our why we where we at right now. It's 100%. So you know, I surfed all my life, and when I came back home from college, China Urimura, hit me up and he's like, hey, right, help me out do some security. I go, yeah, just come over here. We'll run the contest. You go out there in the water, clear the water. Right, I would have to go out to bowls, clear the whole water, Kiwalos, clear everywhere we went. Never have jet skis. You have paddle out there.
Oh, so you had to like go in the water and tell people individually. You didn't have like a big megaphone.
No,
like, you go, everybody get out.
No, you go bowls like right now. You go right there. And, contest starting in 15 minutes. Either paddle in or paddle over. Yeah, that's how it started.
Wow.
Just like that. And that kind of helped us in a sense for all these different surf associations because at the end of the day, the guys out there never care about the guy who running the contest. They only was feared of us guys who was coming out there and for, you know what I mean, clear the water. But, you know, again, it also worked because we locals. And we surf.
Going back to
and
what
we understand the surfing
about,
culture. And so one thing led to another. I went from doing the water patrol for him to, they do the night security. They do the day too. Yeah, do the day. So that was just making extra money right on the weekends. Me and my wife would go before we had kids. And that's how it started. And then just that aloha, always alohaing everybody, always smiling, just welcoming everybody. Translated to a guy named Bernie Baker and Reedy Noy, who came, and our first contest ever on the North Shore was called the Monster Pipe Pro. And that's when the Volcom House was only the small Volcom House, and the Volcom House was the Wild House. And then the big house that they own now used to be Jerry Lopez's house.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how we started. And then off of that, we got opportunity to work for Randy Work for a couple years before he retired. And then that also came up on how we got to do the ADI call. In 98 was our first ADI call. Either 90 or 99. Noah Johnson won our first year ever doing the first ADI call that we've ever done. I think it's 99. And we've just been a fixture the whole time. And basically, just being ourselves, just being Hawaiian, just doing us, just barbecuing and drinking, barbecuing, inviting everybody. Oh, what, you hungry? Yeah. Oh, what, kids, you guys hungry? They never seen that kind of stuff over there before. Feeding everybody. Man, we used to have Thanksgiving. We'd feed everybody. We used to have one big party over there Thanksgiving. Feed everybody. Feed all the Hawaiians that was living out there on the North Shore. Coming, playing music, just live entertainment music playing, and we just be ourselves, and we came to this point where we're at right now. We're still the main fixture, and we've been blessed to take care of all the best surfers in the world for 20 plus years, and we're still taking care of the greatest one of all, and then Kelly Slater and the Leongs, our relationship is more than just, we the security that takes care of it. No, it's like, what, you got time for go eat breakfast? You got time for dinner? I got some banana pancakes I made, like fresh for you. Like, so, cool. It's like, is that cool? It's crazy that just off the surfing road, being there and all these 20 plus years, we've ended up doing weddings, family baby luau's, and it just keep going every year. Just keep going. And word of mouth, now the clientele has expanded. So even like when we get the 80 count now, we're not only doing the bay, we're doing the houses around the bay.
Oh, wow.
For keep people out.
So you got to hire a lot more people then, huh? So the business has to grow. So
basically what we do, how I operate is, if you get one client every winter, that's your client. Unless you call in sick or something, you cannot come. That's yours, no matter what. I'm not going to ever go, this year you're not going over there. No. So again, you get that client and communication. And that's half the battle, right? Is communicating with the client. And nowadays, that's what the client like. Like, we're going to do the art fest, and they're asking for my nephew, Bubba, but he doesn't work with us no more because he went back to construction. And she's like, oh, can I get Big Bubba again? He was so good. Like, that makes me feel good because when he was working, he had that communication with them. He took care of them like I would take care of them. And I guess that's the biggest thing, right? Like, when you expand as a business, is the workers that you hired doing it the way you would do it?
Yeah. Trusting others to do it to your standard. Yep.
Because at the end of the day, they're hiring you.
Yeah. You the face.
You
built this business as
exactly
Kimo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what we're on our third year legally. Legal.
How long have you been doing this?
Legal. Yeah, we got our own legal company. We legal. We legit now.
Come at us now, IRS.
We legit. So, that's what people ask for. But now we're at a point where I'm at a point where I gotta get them for not hire Kimo himself. Get the company. You're hiring a company. And no matter what, you can get the same service as if Kimo was there personally. And but again, I'm a hands-on owner too. So I check in on all my guys at any time of the night. And that's the one thing that everybody that been around me, and I got guys that been with me my cousin dude's been with me from day one. I got another Hawaiian Uncle Terry, he's been with me for 17 years. And they know that I can just get out of bed and drive down the road or go drive North Shore 1 hour away and show up at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. And if you sleeping, I'll send you home and I'll work the shift. But that's just for keep everybody on track, right? Like, at the end of the day, I had to learn business too. Like, I'm not paying you for sleep. But when there's a glitch in the system that says you short 3 hours on your paycheck, you fast for grumble. So you robbing me.
Yeah.
Right?
It must be kind of hard to find the balance because, like, you have to be strict and, because you got to have the business side of your mind, but you also have that, like, local Aloha side where it's just, like, brada kind, especially at events, because it's, like, at what point are you, like, you got to be intimidating and scary so people respect you, but you also want to be nice and kind, but you don't want people to take that as weakness,
Oh, we get rid of that, brother. We get rid of that bouncer, old school bouncer at the door. look nowadays.
So the hands crossed like this.
Yeah, no way. So even so, a good example is I use this example because I hear it all the time. So I use my son and then his MMA guys to take care of Jason in the last couple of times he came down. And these comments, even when I post them, the comments they go, "Oh, the security is smaller than him." But then you get other comments. He's like, "Oh yeah, did you see how their ears look like? Why don't you go try them?"
That's a tell sign right there. Yeah. The cauliflower ears.
But again, it's learning how to do business, and I learned from other guys, from the main security guys, that it ain't about the big guys no more. It's about the guys who can handle themselves in adversity. How to do it professionally and not get pissed off and like whack somebody or hit somebody. How to calmly cool guys down. And because you get confidence enough to know that if somebody swing, you're gonna know how to defend yourself and defend our client. Okay. And so that's kind of how it's kind of how I look at business now. Is that way too. But the one thing I do. A lot of guys in my company, they're like, "Oh, I get so-and-so, he like work." Well, I can tell you this. If so-and-so screw up, I'm not going to talk to so-and-so. I'm going to talk to you because you brought him in. You're responsible for that person. So it's worked so far for all these years. But again, it puts the responsibility on you, right? Are you willing to put your name on that line for your friend? Right? Because I haven't put my name on the line for you for be here, so you know how we operate.
Yeah.
Right now, you want. I wouldn't help anybody, but understand that you're responsible. And you're gonna be the first one I'm gonna call.
Okay.
And if you don't do it, then guess what? Both of you guys gonna be gone.
Exactly.
You see,
and that's old school style.
Just trying to hold everybody accountable, right? Just hold yourself accountable. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't want somebody, spitting on your name because no way. I mean, I take offense to that kind of stuff when somebody say that stuff. And I give you a good example. A couple weeks ago, Spam Jam. My guard was over there, but I knew all the boys over there. They had a party. Yeah, I smell weed, whatever, but that's not my record. But perception of my worker standing there and talking to one of the boys and smelling that smell, they made an accusation saying that my God was smoking weed. Yeah. So, but when I asked for the proof, show me, or why you never come to us guys when that thing when happened that night? We was there, right? And so to me, I don't do good with accusations because accusations causes a lot of problems. That is not true. Yeah. I mean, we deal with it all the time on a movie set. Oh, so-and-so got stolen. Oh, yeah? You sure? Oh, yeah, it was the security. They were the last one here. Oh, yeah? Okay. And so we've learned how to log everything down, take inventory every night. And we also learn how to be visual and understand that, hey, so-and-so took them. Check a look. They go back and look. They're like, oh, I got so. Here's the thing is when you guys make these accusations, makes us guys look bad when really it wasn't us. But, they figure you pay the security, that's their job for them. Something missing, they're not gonna blame me, they're gonna blame the security. And so, it is what it is. We just roll with the punches and learn, you know what I mean? You don't learn and try and be ahead of that curve.
Yeah, totally. Oh,
be ahead of that curve. Don't even let us guys try and be in that area, you know what I mean? Like be ahead of that. Like think ahead.
Yeah.
So I always use my guys as my family, my wahana as everybody's got a place to go. Not everybody can do every job because some jobs is not for everybody. But it's my job to find one position at one location for that person to do great. Because I've seen it many times. Some guys is passive. They cannot tell somebody, oh, no, you cannot go there. Or no, you got to back up. You know what I mean? Oh, get in the line. No, some guys cannot. But those same guys that cannot do them, majority of the time, they're good visual people. They can see. They
can be the lookout.
Yeah. But it's just improving, the business, bro.
Okay. So what you're saying is I could work for Kanaka
Yeah,
Solutions.
of
I
course.
don't gotta be,
No, no,
this big person.
no,
So,
no.
wow, my security dreams are still alive.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
for real. I mean, that's the part, right? And the thing is, like, I watch a lot of social media, YouTube, news, and I like to watch like what other security companies do.
Mhm.
And so, just like at that Safeway, the guard was escorting the suspect, I guess, out of the store. But he let the guy, instead of he being 2, 3 feet behind the guy, he was on the side of the guy, and then he gets stabbed.
Oh.
So just stuff like that. I always pay attention to that kind of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
then in my mind, I run that through with my guys. Like, bro, don't be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, be on the guard, head on a swivel,
Yeah, yeah.
and be behind. You know what I mean? Never take nothing for granted
Mm-hmm.
at all, because nothing's guaranteed that it's gonna go good.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, your dream is alive.
That's cool. Hey guys, I'm retiring from the Keep It Low podcast. Find me at all the next events. Find me at Jason Momoa's security guard coming up his next trip. Okay, let's take a quick shishi break and we'll be right back.
Kalea Hop Water is a sparkling, hop-infused beverage with bright, tropical flavors and the refreshing essence of island life. With 0 alcohol, 0 carbs, and 0 calories. Kalea brings aloha in every bubble.
All right, we're back from a quick shishi break. Mahalo to our drink sponsors, Kolea Sparkling Hop Water and Lion Coffee, which I got a little bit of a cough, so I'm not drinking cold drinks. So I'm not drinking the Kolea today, but I got some warm drink in my Lion Coffee mug. So mahalo to both of them for always providing the best quality shishi in Hawaii. All right, so let's get into the social media fan questions. First question comes from Chow_Kimo. This person says, what's your favorite base food for your diet?
Oh,
I guess like your base food.
Right now is just pretty much anything. So let's go back, because I know what that person's asking, because I was on a plant based for 11 months straight, just strictly plant based, not vegan, just strictly plant based. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And tofu is my favorite. Avocados is my favorite. But when I do go back to them, which is Delicious Healthcare, my favorite gotta be those cauliflower mashed potatoes that they serve.
I've never had that
That is
before.
super good.
So it's just mashed potatoes, but they use cauliflower to make it?
Yeah, so the way they do, so all the different nutrients, vitamins, protein, carbohydrates you need all comes off of plants, strictly plants.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fried. Everything's grilled or boiled, or baked in the oven. I was on that diet for 11 months. I had some health stuffs go on in April. This is basically because too much partying, whatever. But I changed, for the year. I'm at where I'm at now and doing.
Yeah,
good
you're looking good.
and feeling good. But when I was on that plant-based diet, it's just that I was losing weight so fast that a lot of comments was coming back to me that I was on chronic, that I did drugs because of the way I look. But it's crazy because I used to feel like that, but I wasn't. I was clean.
They never say Ozempic.
No, no, I was clean. So it's like, wow. But then, I got off too, because we Hawaiian, we local, we Hawaiian, we love our food.
That's the only reason I can't go vegetarian or vegan, because kalua pig, lau, fish and poi. You know, which poi would be. Okay,
so right now, I try to do as much as I can with just fish and poi. A lot of fruits. But going back to that question, cauliflower mashed potatoes is probably my my go-to when I'm on that plant-based diet.
Cool. I gotta look into that. That sounds good. Okay. Next question comes from Ke Kabuto 18. This person says, "Is Uncle still vegetarian?" And then he also says, "Who is the most challenging person he has ever provided security for?"
No, I'm not on the. I'm not on that. I'm not on the
phone ringer.
No, I'm not on the plant-based at this time. Basically, I got off because I like I said, man, I enjoy food. I just feel like at that time was good for me to go on this plant-based, forget myself back to
kind of give you a reset.
Reset. But then, man, life is too short to. Too short for.
Just everything in moderation.
Yeah, that's the keyword, moderation. Yeah. And what was the second part?
The second part is, who is the most challenging person he has ever provided security for?
Man. Jason's probably the most. Kelly Slater's one too.
In Hawaii or outside of Hawaii? Because I'm sure it's different, right?
So here's the thing. I never leave the island at all. If there's something going like I got to take a client to another island, I'll make a call to that island. I'll get the boys over there to do it, and I'll just show up as a visitor because that's not my island. You know what I mean? Like I get that much respect for everybody on every island that they can take care of them just like Kanaka Solutions would on Oʻahu. But I would go there as a visitor, but I would be there physically, but they would do the work, and then we'll make sure the setup is the same.
Oh, awesome.
Because that's just how I feel. You know, I get asked all the time to come to the mainland and travel, but because I don't want you ever to come Hawaii and feel Oʻahu, feel like you can do that too. You know, and that's how I feel about you coming to Hawai'i. You know what I mean? You come to Hawai'i, you're going to make one big film, but you better check in or we're going to check in with you.
Yeah.
That's just bottom line because that's all about respect.
Yeah, and it goes back to, you know.
And we earned that. So
hiring the locals. So you hire the locals of every single place.
But yeah, no. I don't leave. And Jason's probably the toughest, but Kelly Slater's tough too. And I say tough in a sense of the amount of attention. Like Jason Momoa, whenever we do an autograph signing, like Costco's, bro, this thing went around the building.
The vodka,
yeah, around the building. And in the building, the line was still long. But you know what? The great part about doing guys like that is they will stay there and sign every single autograph, take every picture. Him and Kelly is pretty cool to see that that those guys can do that stuff. And I'd say Jason because he would do some stuff like, Uncle, you ready? I go, where we going? We're going to go in the store, me and you. I go, bruh, this is Aloha Shopping Center. You like go in Foodland for go buy something. And so we would just go. But we'd walk fast. And by the time people can turn and figure like, oh, that's him. But we gone.
In and out.
In and out. But yeah, Kelly Slater and Jason, out of all the different red carpet people. I mean, there's some other clients that I won't mention because they're private clients that we take care of. Again, we don't only take care of guys who is in front of cameras. We do a lot of private clients too with the client with a lot of kala, but I won't mention them. But again, it's just the business, you know.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. So you must have some like really crazy like stories of fan interactions, like people like begging you to like take pictures, sign autographs, stuff like that. Do you ever feel bad saying no?
Yeah. Yes. But I don't say no. I don't say no, and I don't turn down a job. Even if I'm in a bad situation with manpower, I'll never say no. I will figure it out. You know, because that to me is like, once you say no, that person can tell their friends, and then it's like you might lose 3-4 jobs down the road because you just say no. And so I've been in situations where I'm completely out of guys, but we figure it out.
What about to like the fans, like having to like reject them and like
only so for us guys we're not afraid for standing ground. but as of rejecting you for go back, it's all up to the client that we watch. If he wants it, then we do it. And if he tells you, oh, let's just, we like personal time, okay. And then somehow sees a kid and they're like, oh, can you just let him in, you know. Sometimes Rock was like that too. You know? Hey, let me go take a picture. Okay, you know what I mean? But we just do what the client want or their security. Because there is security that like Walt Disney, Columbia Pictures, that they hire for them. But then, over the years you get that relationship with those guys. So when they come to Hawaii, it's cool because like when the HPD come to special duties with us guys, I always tell them, bruh, just go in your car, turn on your AC, and go sleep. You're in good hands today. They just laugh.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what I mean? It's like, you just make everybody feel, even those guys, make them feel good, basically, you turn on your light, we good.
Yeah.
Because, everybody knows that we're there and we treat everybody fairly. We aloha everybody. And that's the greatest part about the security I like is being out there. Because what is the best way to share our culture? Teach them stuff about our island. And our culture is face-to-face, word of mouth, every single day. It's the greatest part. I love that part.
Yeah. You get to be the example of what aloha is.
I mean, we do it every day. It's natural. It's not like I don't put on a facade. This thing is real. It's as real as it gets. You know what I mean? And that's why I use that narrative that was thrown out by my nephew Moki Boy. It says, real Hawaiians doing real things. And so I use that logo. I use that saying. And then Kevin Perry, who just coming up now, the musician.
Oh yeah, I seen him. I tried to get him on.
Brother Kev. Oh, I'll let him know.
I messaged him, but he's he's very new at social media.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing because he's really bad at responding.
I'll get the guys helping him.
Yeah.
So like he just made a good one the other night. He says, when you live, it's honor to live pono.
Yeah.
Bruh, that right there that night, I was like, bruh, that's fucking good stuff right there, bruh.
I say a similar thing. I'll say it's only ono if it's pono.
Bruh, that's good stuff right there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, it's killer.
That's awesome. All right, so next question comes from Uncle Scotty. This person says, "What? You know who that is?" I guess all the uncles know the other uncles, yeah. Uncle Scotty says, "What's in the future for Kanaka Solutions?"
Ah, man, hopefully we no movies at all right now, no more filming.
Yeah, so sad.
So that kind of put like that couldn't put like a big dent in our business because usually we'll do the surf world and then we'll always have the filming to work after that. So now we've done different stuff. So we're going, do more watching buildings, property.
It's like general security
stuff now. But Uncle Scotty, he works for us guys too when I need him, and if you need your car tinted, that's the guy.
There you go, Uncle Scotty. But what you just shared is a great example of why the film industry is so important here, and hopefully legislature is watching this and they see, because it doesn't just help out the actors and the actresses, but the whole community. The security, the food, the catering, the transportation. So many parts of Hawaii is affected because there's no films here.
And so, you look at the film world, right? They never learned anything from COVID. COVID was the same way too. I lost everything at COVID. My wife lost her job at COVID. Tourism went out the door. So imagine like all the people that tourism affects. It affects the guys who deliver the linens, deliver the carpet, bring the produce to you, whatever it is. All these different companies is all affected, but they just think, tourism, just the people who come here, the hotels. No, Brad, I think affects everybody. Now these movies, same thing. It's a mirror image. It's literally a mirror image that it affects a lot of us guys. A lot of guys. A lot of guys left to go to Vegas and try and work up there. A lot of guys just change occupation. For me, just little bit different, just look at things different. But I don't know, Akua has blessed me, man. Let me tell you, Akua has really blessed me with these two clients that I just got. So somehow Akua has dropped them in my lap, and we just keep it going, bro. We just
awesome.
keep it going, and you know, we just keep the way we do things, bro.
Yeah. You put a lot of good out, it will come back to you.
Yeah, no, we're blessed, bro.
Awesome. Okay, next question comes from Black and White Life. This person says, favorite rock band?
Oh, AC/DC.
Nice. What's your favorite song from them? They got a bunch of classics.
Black and Black.
Yeah. That's funny because this person asking is Black and White Life. So
no, so you know back in the 80s, hard rock was it, right? You know what I mean? Every
metal, yeah.
Metal, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, but again, you know, yeah, that's probably my favorite group. But I'm an old school Hawaiian guy, you know, 1420. You know, Uncle Aku Populi listened to his radio station every morning. Grandma would have that station on there every morning, and all you heard is 99 music. That's all you heard every morning. And it's crazy because my son is like that. You know, sometimes I listen to what he got in his playlist, so I'm like, bruh.
How you know this song?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey, you raised them good. That's awesome. Have you seen Jason's band? Because you work for Jason? Because he's like in a rock band or something, right?
They're good.
Yeah?
They're good. I mean, I was really hesitant at first because I even told him before he went out, going, bro, you can do this, sir. You're
not just a celebrity.
Yeah.
People coming because you're actually good at. He's actually good at.
You know what I got to see? Everybody only got to see him on stage. I got to see him put the work in to go on stage. Like every break he had, but he had the guitar on him. Just practicing all the songs. Just keep practicing in the car while we drive from one place to another. So I got to see him, the process, and then I got to see him on stage. It's like, wow. So like anything else, I got to see to the final product, and I was like, awesome. Wow, but that's awesome.
What does he play?
Electric guitar.
Oh, okay. And then what is it, cover band or
they cover band? Yeah, they cover band. Okay. Yeah.
So they do AC/DC.
But these two guys, his partners, they all were just up and comers, trying to live a dream in LA. And then he made it and he left, and one of them back to Louisiana, the other one back to Florida, and then I guess he always made them a promise that, hey, one day, when I do, we're gonna come back, and then sure enough, brother.
Oh, so he used to play music before with these.
All these guys, yeah, these guys.
Oh, that's so cool that he never forgot about them, and he gave them this platform.
Yeah, so like I learned that story because I was with them, right? Yeah. And I asked him, bro, how you didn't know this guy? He's like, oh yeah, way back when in LA, bro, we all wanted to be, you know. So it's cool, bro, that he never forgot that. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. All right, next question comes from Wapili_KM. This person says, Uncle looks like he got some stories. Try ask him to share one of his favorites. I don't know. It could be anything. There's no details on what story, but...
Shit. I mean, I guess one of my best stories to tell people about our company and how we operate is our first time ever being on the North Shore. Like literally earning our spot. We had to camp. They never put us up in houses yet.
Oh, you wasn't in one of the Volcom houses,
Not yet. We starting off.
Started off real humble, in the tent.
In the tent. Literally in the tents on the side of the road at Sunset Beach, in the rain, everything. We've seen it all. We've done it all, and we're at Sunset, and then this Howley lady goes, you guys kind of barbecue over here. No barbecuing. I said, what? You come back in 2 hours. We're going to be barbecuing, I promise you. We barbecue. Feed everybody. And we took that same mentality to Waikiki when we did the first Duke Fest. And we still do the Duke Fest now. We bought a rotisserie on a trailer, and we went rolling with Julio and Pig over there. And all the Beach Boys, bro, was so happy. They said, only you guys from Waianae can do that kind of stuff. And a funny story for this person is, we'd get bored, right? So we'd sit down underneath the tent, right? You get all the tourists, right? Just for laughs, we would tape a suji. We'd tape $1 at the end of the suji line, and we throw it out. And people would go for grab it, and then we just move them.
I've seen pranks like that before.
Bro, we would laugh so hard. Hours of stuff like that, bro. Hours of good times like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that companies don't do. You know what I mean? I mean,
you're a cool company. That's
it's like, I really think like we try and just be ourselves. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're just one local boy.
I'm just one local boy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're hiring me for make sure everybody's safe. And make sure nothing gets stolen, right? And that's the bottom line. And that's how I look at it. But again, in the world that we live in now, no, you gotta be in uniform. You gotta be nice. You gotta be dressed. Like, okay, I get it. But how much of these companies is actually doing what you want them to do? You know what I mean? So I keep it light. I keep it stern. I keep it light, but I want to make sure that as we work, we're also sharing our knowledge of the island. Any knowledge you get growing up, you share them with these people, bro, because you make connections. Like in the movie business, I always tell my guys, aloha everybody, because you never know. You might have an opportunity to get into the union and work for one of these guys, an electrician, construction, whatever. And I'm not going to feel bad because I gave you an opportunity to start here. And then you might get another connection, and then you can get that opportunity to go on too. I mean, this is the way it is, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Awesome. Super cool. All right. Last question comes from Kuakaloa Robinson. He says, I was at the film premiere the past week for Peahi, and I just loved your performance in it. Can you share where you got the inspiration for playing your character, or is that just you playing you?
It's me playing me. Basically, I've had other roles with my cousin Brian on different shows, Pearl Harbor and all these other shows, but it always sounded fake, and it felt fake, right? Because they want to make sure that they can hear the words coming out of your mouth clearly, right? Right? And I do have a strong pidgin, and not everybody can understand it. But again, when I watched the movie Peahi, it's like, it's authentic.
Yeah. Well, Kai said you were the heart and soul of that film, I agree.
I like it because ATN, he wrote it. I did it the way he wanted to, and I was like, bruh, make me sound like one Holly. I know one Holly. He's like, I go, just let me put them in my own words, but I'll make sure that the message is the same. And so he just kind of like let me free rein this stuff. Even like yelling at the kids,
breaking the
stick, chucking the kind, the coconut, all that kind of stuff. So, it's funny too because a lot of people say, "Oh, Uncle, how come be at all these events like Chief of Wars and all of these other Hawaiian stuff?" So I said, when Uncle told me that my mana is too strong, I never believed him. But again, if that's his perception of valuing how he feels and how my presence is around people, then it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, the movie stuff is not for everybody. And some people said, "Oh, you cannot do two. You cannot do security and act." Well, how the hell you know that? You know what I mean? How you know that? But again, it is what it is, and I don't dwell on nothing. If it comes my way, it comes my way.
Yeah.
And so like Peahi, I'm so happy for Kai, because I'm telling you the truth, the freaking disaster when we was in Maui. Right? His hometown, his people, and they got to watch. Like, it's embarrassing. Super embarrassing. We went to Maui and we showed the first time of the show. Is embarrassing. And then for Kai to still be here for 2 years later and see the product it's at now, it's amazing, and I'm super happy super, super happy that it finally get to come out the way it's supposed to come out, you know.
What was embarrassing about Maui?
The show wasn't even finished, bro.
Oh, like it wasn't a good premiere?
We did 3/4 of the show on the film. We did a Q&A. We had to wait for the last quarter to come, get delivered, and put them back on the screen. When they put it back on the screen, rewind a whole section that was already shown on the first 3/4.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, no, it's embarrassing.
It just wasn't planned properly.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was embarrassing. But to see it come out now with Kai, and all the people involved financially and worked hard, all the cast, it's lovely.
Yeah.
And that's my thing too. Now is with ATN. It's like, hey, you gotta invite everybody, bro. It's not only about us guys, but it's about everybody.
Not
Everybody
just
who
the Hawaiian.
everybody who helped.
Yeah.
I mean, go buy the stuff. Everybody who helped, bro. It was only one small crew, but you gotta invite everybody, bro, because everybody's part of this journey. You know, everybody, you know, got to see, but to see the end result, bro, is super happy.
Yeah.
Super proud to. I mean, so much people like, bro, where can I see it now? Yeah.
You missed out. You should have came to the premiere.
But I guess somebody just posted in July in Maui.
Oh, I don't know.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
I know ATN never answered, so must not be.
Probably not him.
If ATN not putting them off, you know,
Yeah,
it's not gonna be. But no, you gotta
Yeah, I just wanted to show this on camera because we're speaking of Maui. We got the new Maui Strong 100% Maui coffee. Like Lions Coffee just started this because they want to give back to Maui, help post wildfires and stuff. So this is a brand new coffee that they just released. Maui coffee. We'll give you some too. You can share with your ohana and all of that. But yeah, I think like a portion, I don't know how much, goes to 10% of the proceeds from a bag will go to help communities on Maui through the Hawaii Community Foundation. So yeah, super cool. Maui 100% Maui coffee. We hear about the Kona coffee all the time, so I still gotta try it. Never tried them, but it looks good. I love the packaging, gold.
I mean, you gotta get those sponsors, bro.
yeah, but I love when we get sponsors that are doing great things and like actually for the community. So it's super cool.
That's another thing
like that,
you talk about sponsors. Like we've been blessed, Kanaka Solutions too. Have all these guys who take care of us. This guy OGA been with this guy from Oʻahu Golf Apparel.
Apparel.
Been with him from day one. When he started, he came to me and my partner Danny, and he's like, "Hey, and I start selling some big polo shirts." I said, "Yeah, we'll start making some 3X, 4X, 5X, and 6X because all the Hawaiians." They go golf. They're tired of wearing the same black Nike, white swoosh.
Everybody matching. They think they're not there to play golf. Hey, you working security right now.
And no, but he has just taken off. In Vans, shoes. They take. It's like all these guys. Again, at the end of the day, it's all that relationships too. Yeah, that take care of us guys. That take care of you and your show. We got guys.
We can't do what we do without them.
No, you cannot. And we appreciate everybody who helps us guys out. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is, right? It's part of business, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate all of our great sponsors.
Yes.
And mahalo to everybody who left Instagram questions. We appreciate you. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. All right, so we're coming to the back end of the podcast, and I like to ask all of my guests the same question about keeping it aloha. It's the name of the show. It's something that I try to do every single day. It helps me be accountable for all of my action. So I just want to know, in your life, how do you keep it aloha?
I just keep it real every day and treat people the way you want to be treated. That's how I keep it aloha every day. You know what I mean? You throw out what you're going to get back. And I'm a true believer in that. I'm also a true believer in you in control of what you do in your 24 hours that Akua gives you every single day. Every single day you get to get up. It's a privilege because they didn't guarantee that you can get up tomorrow. And so I always use that term on my own self every single day. Like, get up, do something productive in your 24 hours because you're in charge. I mean, Deion Sanders put it good, right? he can be mad for 1 minute, 2 minutes, but he's not going to put himself in a situation where he's going to let that thing linger all day long in the way. Because you're in control of your emotions, you know? And I use that a lot on my guys. I tell them, rather, whether bad or not, it's like, bro, you in control. You know what you got to do. You're adult. You don't need me tell you what you got to do, bro. You know, so to keep it Aloha every day, I just like to make sure that I in control of my 24 hours that a call gives me every day, and I treat people with respect. And I've been blessed, bro.
Yeah, awesome, beautiful
Super
answer.
blessed.
When you talk about respect, it made me think about one of the scenes in Peahi where you were talking to the kids, around the campfire, talking about Hawaiian and stuff like that. And you feel
the Holly
so good.
boy said,
yeah,
my boy got broken.
Exactly, and you were saying, I believe, and you can correct me, it was like what if you're not Hawaiian or by blood or something? And you're like, as long as you respect the land and you respect the people, then that's good.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such a great message, and that is the message that I believe in too. Is like, when people come here and, you have friends visit and they're like, hey, I know like people are like feel a certain way about howlers or foreigners coming, or we get people asking like, hey, I'm not Hawaiian, but I want to do this and that, or I'm thinking of moving here. And like, hey, like, as long as you respect the people, you respect the land, and you do as the locals do, you're not going to have a problem.
Or, put yourself, if you go to where they live, right? You got to live the same way. You got to use that same mentality too. You got to respect the people where you at, where you visiting. Just as we expect them to come here and respect our culture, our land, and what we do. I mean, you got to do the same thing when you go into their state, or their area. And I just think that's super important. Super, super important. And a lot of people just throw that word out there right nowadays of respect. And I think stuff that you and I do and a lot of other people do, we boots on the ground. Basically, we boots on the ground. And
I said barefoot on the ground.
But it's I don't true believer, man. You in control of what you do, and treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what I mean? And respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
I do want to end too and tell you thank you for everything. And there's a lot of different definitions of kiahi, right? Some people feel like kiahi is just the guys that we see on social media that go to the mauna or go to a stuff. But guys like me and you, we in some avenue, we do that word kiai in a different style.
Or kiai, is that?
Kiai. Yeah, we do it different style. We do it in a different way. And so I just want to make sure that people out there understand that, hey, there is Hawaiians out there that is working hard, working the land, working for people who own the land. And, hopefully one day us as Hawaiians can come together as one, right? And it's hard to see that right now because every time you see one Hawaiian get like this, well, now the Hawaiian going to bring them back down. Crabs in a bucket, And it's hard. But, hopefully one day, man.
Well, what do you think? And this is a great topic to end on, like you said. What do you think is the issue? Is like, we want our own people, Hawaiian or just people of Hawaii, to be successful, and then once they hit a level of success, then we want to bring them down. It's like, oh, don't be too successful because then you're just a sellout. Yeah. You're just these Hollywood Hawaiians. Like, I'm Sir Jason, The Rock, Nicole, all the big Hawaii representatives, they get it all the time. And then even on a smaller scale of just even, maybe certain surfers or maybe certain athletes. It's like, you can't do anything right. Or you can't please all these people because there's this one side of people who are like, super proud of all these people doing awesome things representing Hawaii. And then there's the people like, oh, but you're not doing it in a certain way. You're not doing this, but also like, eating kalo and promoting whatever in the way that I think you should, or you're working with a business and then that business isn't 100% fully local or whatever, and it's like they find like anything wrong with it, any chink in the armor, and just
I just feel like those are the people that they don't have their they're not receiving an envelope or they're just not part of it. And maybe they thought of that idea or thought of something, but they never put it into plan.
So
somebody else came along and put it into plan, right? And they're kind of jealous. I mean, like you and I talk offline, right? Like in 2019, I had a tour company, and I didn't even plan to have a tour company. I was just helping Holly Eva Glass Bottom Boats over here, my good brother, and on his boat with Cliff Botello guys, Jason Lau, and we just was going down from Kewalo Basin all the way to the Red Buoy from Diamond Head and back, and just being Hawaiians, teaching them all about the history of the Four Valleys, all of that room, teaching them what was the oldest hotel out in Waikiki, what was man-made built out there, all of this stuff. And off of that is when a guy from JTB offered for me to start a company. And then starting that company, people in our neighborhood out there on the west side was grumbling because, you cannot have one business. You cannot come over here and show them that you're exploiting our no, bro. Hawaii's been viewed as that for a long time, but I never do. Other people do them for us. But I'm not gonna sit back and watch one Haole, Korean, Chinese, Japanese come in our place and do business, and then when we like do business the same way they do business, now we wrong. Now we sell out. No, we not sell out. We just akamai to know that, bro, why are these guys making money and putting food on putting food on their table when we should be putting food on our table, bro?
Exactly.
It's pretty simple. 1 + 1 is 2. They're gonna
yeah.
But I mean, I just think that people grumble because they're either not a part of it or they're jealous.
Yeah.
And so you just got to keep going forward.
Yeah, I really don't understand. I mean, you can feel a certain way about certain industries, but if you see a Hawaiian person just trying to make it out here, because it's hard to make it out here.
You should be happy.
You should be happy. You should support. And say it's too much, like it's too expensive, whatever service product they're putting out, then just don't buy it. Like you don't gotta complain and say all these bad things. Just like, okay, we'll go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. Yeah, exactly.
Same with content online. You don't like something that you see, swipe to the next one.
Don't comment. Or don't comment. Yeah.
Close your phone.
Yeah.
It's a very simple concept that I think people they just have so much, I guess, anger, or it's usually those people who are they're not happy with their life, so they're trying to project and they just can't have an open mind to see like people live in different ways than they do. People think differently than they do. And I think it's maybe just they're just not exposed to enough, maybe. So they just can't, fathom like other people having a different life. And we see that with a lot of stuff like, Lanai. I talked to Lanai recently, and I think you're friends with Lanai. Yeah. He posted a kalo shochu.
Yep.
And I was just looking at some of the comments because somebody sent me the clip. I'm like, why are people hating on this?
Yeah, right.
He's like, I feel like it's like promoting kalo. I mean, if kalo is such a big staple of Hawaiian culture, like why not like innovate and like use this and in a different way to like we think kalo. You cook them, you steam them, you make a poi with them, you whatever. Like I thought it's so cool. You can make alcohol with it. Like I never even knew that was a possibility. And then to see people like, oh, like this is so heavy or da-da-da, you're just exploiting our culture, sell out, making money. I'm like, so you think this guy is the only person in history using this product for anything? Just go Google how many things are made with taro. Taro, yes, it's sacred to Hawaii, but it's all over the world. So all these people that are doing things with taro all over the world, how can you not getting on them? Or how can you not getting on the people who aren't Hawaiian or from Hawaii using this product and many more coconuts, pineapple, whatever. Go yell at Dole.
It's simple. You just go to the local farmers market. Go look at the people doing them.
Go yell at a Chinese auntie selling all of our fruits, and then go see if she cares about what you. It's just too much, and I'm so sick of seeing it. And it's not the Karens. It's not the white people, howlies that are upset. It's our own people.
Our own.
You look at the names, it's all Hawaiian usernames.
All our own. But, the thing, too, and I always think back, like, how come we cannot come together as one? And I look back at Chief of Wars, and when you look at Chief of Wars, maybe we cannot coexist all the islands together, because you get your belief on your island, we get our ways over here on Oʻahu, and so to come as one, as the whole 808, might be kind of tough, but it wouldn't even help. Would help if everybody sit at the table, you know what I mean, and talk about what you get going on in your island, positive, and what you get negative, and then figure it out. But that's kind of the thing too, like. Hopefully, like I said, one day, it's not going to be in my time, but hopefully one day, we can, just like the military bombing, right? To me, as on Hawaiian, I wouldn't like the land back. I wouldn't want the island back. I want you to go clean them up and then give them back to us.
That's what Keanu Sai says.
Because good brother right there.
Yeah.
His sister's my classmate.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
So, because we're going to be limited if you give them back to us. We cannot go back in the valley and where it really counts, And so, that's my, and everybody like, you want to sell out Hawaiian. But my skin has come so thick since, I was doing the COVID thing with my Aloha, which we still in effect, that I don't even pay attention to that kind of stuff no more, because I know deep down inside, I'm boots on the ground every day.
Yeah.
People don't understand that even the client that I work for right now, me and my gang, we go home with so much pilikia on our skin every day because of the work we do. And understand that, we gotta kind of, like, before I go home, like, I gotta pull it, and I go home and I take a shower right away, because I gotta get that off. And so does my guys, right? But people don't see that. And so, again, at the end of the day, like, we just got to come together as one, somehow figure it out,
Maybe it's not even coming together, like being best friends with
No,
everybody.
no,
It's just,
isn't it?
It's coexisting. It's like knowing, like, you like to go to Valors, you like to go Moanis, but we can still like each other. We can still be happy.
Yeah.
I don't got to hate on you for liking to go to Valor. I don't got to hate on you for liking to go Moanis. Whatever you want to do, that's awesome. I'm going to do my own thing. I don't got to worry about what you're doing.
Wow, you just talked about the two bars that can close.
No, what? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. What the heck?
Mawani Waikiki, I heard they are shutting down too.
Oh, but look at the Kamakanali'i one.
Kamakanali'i is still going.
Okay. West Side stiff strong.
I heard, I was like, whoa.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess you don't got that problem anymore.
Nah. Yeah, but before we leave, I just tell you I appreciate you inviting me, bro.
Yeah.
And finally get to come over here and talk story with you.
Totally.
I watch the podcast all the time, I just, I don't know. I don't watch TV. But before I go to bed every night, I always turn on YouTube and, either watching sumo or the food they eat, they cook, and then I watch, all the local ones.
Well, now you can watch yourself.
Bro.
And I'm just happy that you don't want to fight me or beat me up, because I would be afraid of you if I wasn't on your good side.
Nah. Those days are done, bro. Those days are over with. It's like that's not the way for go.
Yeah.
That's not how life is now.
Okay.
Yeah, the people is different now.
Okay. So as we come to the end, I just have a couple more questions. I just want to know, what in life are you most grateful for?
Oh, bro, my wife. I've been with her since I was 15, ninth grading.
Wow, high school sweetheart.
Yeah, she was a junior and I was a freshman, so she's 2 years older than me, and she's been with me all the way. And And that's why all my tags with her is the boss lady, and everybody knows she's the boss lady. When she shows up at a job, bruh, let me tell you, people is moving around. But yeah, her, and providing me with 3 lovely kikis. And now my grandbabies, her and I, enjoying being grandparents, enjoying life actually now, her and I. Having a company, her not have to go and work a 9 to 5 job, just stay home, take care of the babies, help my daughter when I need her go in the office. It's lovely to just enjoy life. But sometimes you get so caught up in your own job because my business, I'm gone for like 3-4 months at a time sometimes. I just sending home money so that they can pay bills, put food on the table, take care of all the dogs we got. You know what I mean? It's like, but again, at the end of the day, and recently, it's lovely for be home, just me and her, just laughing, and I'm like, and I hear what other workers that work for me, they're like, bruh, I'm like, bruh, you better tell your wife what we do, what kind of job we do, because it's not, we're around women, we're around bikinis, and not all local girls can handle that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, parties, a lot of partying, but yeah, bro, I'm super appreciative of my wife sticking there with me all the way. Her and I been together a lot. Took her to college with me and everything, travel. So that's my greatest kind, but I appreciate that so much.
That's so beautiful. So what is the secret? If there is a secret, how do you stay together that long?
Bro, honesty, bro. Hard conversations, you know what I mean? Even like when I was the kind last year when I had a small little scare for the heart, it's got to come down to it. Like too much partying, got to just be honest, with her. The drinking, the partying, the just doing stupid shit, like and she knows too. She not one damina, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, bro, we gotta be honest with each other, yeah. And the love, for her, always got my back, no matter what. And the biggest critic.
But biggest supporter, but biggest critic, yeah.
Biggest supporter, but the biggest critic. Believe me, sometimes, it's like, man, why don't you just keep your mouth shut over there? I'm not even talking to you. But, again.
That's boss lady.
It's boss lady. And, yeah, but I cannot thank her more than enough other than just try to make life better for her, yeah. I mean, live, never have to, like, I cannot get this because I don't have enough money, It's like, you can, and that's my goal, is to just live happy. And hopefully, well, my biggest fear is, you see how kids don't take care of their parents, bro, after a while. And I tell my kids that all the time, bro. Like, I don't care what. I can be 80, bro. If I yell at you, bro, I'm your father to life till I die. I don't care what. You my kid. I don't care you married, whatever. You still my kid. I'm going to treat you like my kid. You know what I mean? I still responsible for you no matter what. And I think, just honesty, bro.
That's awesome.
Being honest, bro.
Right on. Okay, so what is one thing you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Yeah. A long time, about 20-something years, nobody knew I went to college and got a degree.
That was I was surprised to hear that because you just seem like one uncle on the beach, very, very just like rooted. Like I would have never guessed you even left. Like you just seem like you were born and raised at the beach.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up there all my life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I knew was surfing and playing sports, and then I've never changed my style at all. Even you talk to guys that went to school with me and stuff, like, I always just been this guy, like, just a local guy who just loved life, right? And I've been fortunate enough to blessed with this company. So let me just tell you this. I was blessed with this company because of this guy named Joe Hodel, who owns another company, who wouldn't umbrella me with his insurance no more. and said, no, I'm not gonna ever help you again. I go, what? Bro, you're gonna get leaking. She's like, no. I'm gonna help you by this. I'm gonna help you build a legitimate company. I'm gonna fill out your paperwork. I'm gonna pull in down payment for you for buy the uniforms and be legal. I'm gonna do everything for you. And so, bro, this guy has this like my mentor, bro. So he's kind of like my sports agent. He's like, like when the people call, like, oh, can I get a rate sheet? I got to call him. Hey, talk to these guys. They like the kind. I tell the customers that too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, without this guy, like, who the hell would have gave one Kanaka like me, one Hawaiian like me, huh? Something like this, bro. Like, actually, honestly, just come out and say, no, I'm gonna help you, and put the money that he did. It still blows me away. I was just talking to him before I came on. I'm going on a podcast, so I might mention you because I've been thinking about it. But people gotta know the true story. Like, it ain't about Kanaka Solutions and where we at or whatever. It's like, who gave me the opportunity, or who took the chance on me to be where we at nowadays? All you guys, but who took the biggest chance to make me legal on the paperwork was you. Who the hell gonna give one Hawaiian like me that kind of money for start one company? Nobody in their right mind before would give me that kind of money. They'd say, bro, you not, bro. You not. But again, I guess, being a little bit educated, my last name is Leong for a reason, right? I'm Chinese. I know how to count money.
There you go. Mahalo to the ancestors.
But yeah, bro, just, opportunities again.
Totally.
Somebody gave me one.
Hey, but you was ready for it. You was ready for it.
I was ready for it, yeah. And he knew I was ready for it too. But again, it's kind of crazy, right? How it works, bro. Like, you give, you get back.
I believe that, yeah.
And, I'm going to tell you this too, bro, because we're right here right now and talk about it. Like my roof on my house went cave in, and so it was raining into the house. Bro, these good guys, former roofing company on the North Shore, because I've been taking care of the North Shore 20 plus years. Breaking guy blessed me with a brand new roof on my house.
Wow.
I mean, like talk about bringing tears. Is like, bro, like the amount that this guy charged me is I just can't even. And then I think back, like, without this guy Joy helping me get this company, there's no way I can go and just go to the bank and get that kind of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all blessings, and I appreciate everyone that help us guys, and every single day. And I don't take it for guarantee. It's not no guarantee. You know what I mean? I don't take nothing for guarantees at all, bro. I just keep going, just keep living. And I learn a lot from my cousin Brian too. You know what I mean? Situations, being smart. Like you would never ever think that one guy like that growing up on the beach can come like how he is now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Businessman, true and true now.
True and true now.
Yeah.
This guy is the head of the freaking whole Hawaii filming. And me, how do you think we got into the movies? Is because of him.
Yeah.
Bringing me.
Yeah.
Me by myself first, and then like, oh no, just keep going. And then so, just opportunities, bro. People that come in your life and taking care of them, and then they end up taking care of you. They get to know you good. They get to trust you, and then, but at the end of the day, they can only lead you to the door. And once you're at the door, it's all on you.
Yeah.
And so again, you gotta do you. And I've chosen to just be myself. I don't change. No chameleons here. No snakes. My skin no change. Yeah. My skin is the same.
Uncle Kimo
all the time.
The same here.
Same.
Outside.
Yeah. All the same.
Different states.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I go to Japan and I'm one shirt on. You can't imagine that.
You must scare people.
Yeah. But I don't change. I watch too many fake people in my whole life. I seen fake people my whole life, and a lot of them.
Yeah.
And when they make it, they forget about you, because they did good. You know what I mean? Like, bro, so about all the boys over here, they would never do good, but you forget about everybody. So I always try and give back to our community as much as I can. We've done We've done a couple events in the last 2 months at Waianae Elementary and one at Nani Kapono for our community. I've just given the guys, and I, volunteer my workers for free for them, and I'll take care of the workers. And I think it's all about giving back,
Always,
in the community all the time, and helping others. That's like Kevin. I've known Kevin before Kevin was how Kevin is now. You know what I mean? Played at my daughter's freaking graduation party. It's nuts, but and that's why I'm so happy that the guy who's helping him, I tell him that all the time. Rod, he's like, bro, keep it going. Whether you know it or not, you're the guy, bro, that is putting it out there for him. Without you filming that, nobody would even know that this guy can do that kind of stuff. But better yet, it's not about him you helping him in life, trying to clean himself up, because he better than that, and so we need as
like
much
that.
people as you can like that. You know what I mean? Because all you hear about Waianae, and I tell people this all the time. Hey, you ever come on a plane? They ever talk about going to the west side? And don't let the people tell you that Ko'olina is the west side, Kapolei is the west side. That's not the west side. Not even Trax is the west side. Black Rock at Nanakuli, you know where Black Rock is? That's where the 96792 start. And so I get really frustrated every time I go, oh yeah, the west side. No, okay, yeah, okay, west side. But deep west, Waianae, deep west, is right there at that point. Because if you look them up, Trax, Honokai Hale, all of that, that's another district. That's not even...
It's pit stop to the west side.
Yeah, but, I don't know. But I appreciate it, bro. Thank you for having me on.
Right on. So what does the next 5, 10, 20 years look like for you?
Bro, just building the brand. I don't even call it a company anymore. I call it a brand. I don't know why, but it is a brand. So it's a brand that don't sell shirts, because I'm a true believer of, man, somebody can wear your shirt and actually cause you more problems than, especially in my business.
Because they do something bad.
Action.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And we get that all the time. But just building the brand and living Pono and just enjoying life, watching my grandkids. I hope some of the changes I made in my health and my eating and my daily stuffs can keep me going, so I can watch my grandkids grow up. You know what I mean? Like, I always think about my parents and my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. Like, they never got to watch my kids grow up. Yeah. And where my sister's kids, my parents got to watch them grow up. But my kids, I had them a little bit later in life, and my parents never got to watch them grow. So I kind of hope that I can just live healthy and watch them grow. Because, it's the greatest thing of being a grandparents. Like everything stops.
Yeah.
If they came to my house this morning, man, it would have been tough for me to come over here, believe me. If somebody would make me cancel something, it would be my grandbabies for not show up for something. Because I just feel like, man, like every moment I can have them, I gotta be with them. So like my kids, every day they leave the house and come home, they kiss us high. Because I think that's I mean, we did that too as our parents, but that's what kind of keep us guys grounded as a family, is that old school high kiss and old school bye. Me and my son never kissed. We only ha since he was a baby.
Wow.
Ever since. So whenever you see me and him, it's always a ha. And now we do that to my grandson. But he thinks he's a freaking headbutt. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta watch him. Yeah, you kick you on the top of your nose. But there's just simple stuff like that, bro. That to me, I look back like it's important, bro, for us guys to teach that stuff, because some of that stuff is lost, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it. You see how the Lewises are too, right?
Yeah.
So grounded, bro. It's not even funny. How grounded that those guys are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Super inspiring,
bro. Super inspiring. And bro, every time they come down here, man, they always bring something to the party, something good from the big island.
Uncle, his oily lao. That thing is me. Yeah. All right, so before we close out the podcast, I gotta know, what is your life hack? Were you able to think of one? Maybe just some Uncle Kimo words of wisdom. It's like, channel the wisdom of Uncle Kimo and Peahi.
Yeah, I guess my life hack is what I had said earlier. Is treat people the way they be treated, and do your best every day, bro. Because tomorrow's not guaranteed. And it's a common saying, right? Like you hear that all the time. Life is not guaranteed, but when it does happen to you in a situation, you're going to really understand what that means too. That life is not guaranteed. And me, myself, I've been able to live that 3 times in my livelihood of good friends, brother-in-law, who just instantly gone. So just enjoy life, man. Like your show, like your podcast, Just keep it aloha and share our culture. Whether you know it or not, every time you tell somebody aloha from a million, you're sharing our culture. Because they don't even know that word aloha. They never heard of it. But they're going to ask you, hey, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Mahalo, aloha,
Malama.
Malama, yeah. I mean, but I'm surprised you use that word. I'm happy you use that word.
I do my research.
Now I feel like that word was meant to be.
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, one of the sayings that we grow up learning is, malama ka aina, naka aina malama oi. Like, take care of the land, and the land will take care of you. But it doesn't just go for the land. Take care of others, malama others. They will malama you. It's always about taking care of others, not just yourself. Putting yourself on the back and putting others in front of you.
So what school did you go then?
I went Punana Leo Hilo, and then I went Kaumeka Ka'eo, and then Navio Kalenia Pu'u, which is all Hawaiian immersion schools in Hilo. Yeah, so we were all taught that from, really early age. Even if we was kolohe, never really listened to the teachers. Like, as I got older, I always kept those values, with my family, and then with the schooling system. It's just, you gotta respect the kupuna. You gotta respect, others. Like, everybody's ohana is community. Like, you are not bigger than the sum of everybody else.
So even me, I like to go back to how you get all these schools now, but halal lokai, man. I used to. My nephews was over there with Kumuhina.
Oh, cool.
And I used to think wow, you guys learn anything other than go to the state capitol and hold the Hawaiian flags? But then you see how that generation went, and just everybody else, right? It just keeps going to school.
Yeah, I think they do a good job at Mr. Miyagiing us, where we're learning these things, even though we don't even know. Like, certain things that we're doing, like, how come we gotta stand up and do all the protocol? How come we gotta lift these rocks and move them, whatever? Take care of this, take care of that. Do the pool, do the prayers. Like, how come we got to do it? But, you're learning discipline. You're learning all these things, even though you don't like it. And I didn't like it when I was in that school, but I appreciate it so much. But now
you're older. Now you look back, you're like, oh, okay.
I wouldn't be the same person without it. Yeah.
Exactly. Even our nephew, Kuhio, Kakuivi, he went to a Nui over here, all the way Hawaiian immersion. And it's funny because he looked holy.
Yeah.
And so whenever I get somebody speaking, and then I'm like, hey, listen to this. Tell me why. He's like, bro, where this person stay? Let's go over there, talk to this person. Yeah? And once he starts speaking Olelo, he's like, I'm like, But then it's kind of trippy too, because we have good friends from Nihao too.
Yeah.
And that's where we learned the father tongue.
That's so cool. I wish I could speak like them.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of like, because, I talked to him and he's like, these holidays they came, man, teaching our language, they go like this. It's supposed to go like this, not like this. Yeah, it is what it is, but you know what I mean? Like, at least the culture is getting be regenerated again.
Exactly. Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah, whether you Hawaiian or not, you look Hawaiian or not, hey, more the merrier. As long as you're promoting the culture, you're respecting everybody, you're doing it in the right way, you're not always pono. Hey.
That's the key word right there. As long as you're not always porno, bro.
Yeah.
You're not porno.
Then it's not ono.
It's not ono.
You split them out and you go in the opala. All right, so these are my last fast 5 questions. These are just rapid fire answers, okay? Favorite childhood snack?
Oh, opai.
Oh, nice. Favorite guilty pleasure?
No more. No more.
You gotta have one.
No more guilty pleasures.
Any more?
Nope. No.
Favorite previous guilty pleasure? Fine. Okay, I'll change it. Favorite beach?
Oh, Makaha Beach.
Uh-huh.
That's our paradise then.
Okay. Favorite time of the year?
Every single day. For real. I don't understand why we only celebrating when the holiday come.
Uh-huh.
You know, if you cherish life, it's every day, bro. Every day is Christmas. Every day is Valentine. It is what it is. And that's what my kids going to tell you, too.
Huh.
It's just another day, Dad. Yeah, it's just another day, bro. Celebrate every day like it's on holiday.
Huh.
You know, you got to. Because it's not guaranteed.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. I never heard that answer before. Every day is the best day to love someone. Every day is the best day to celebrate somebody.
Every day, bro.
Every day. Awesome. Okay, favorite TV show or movie?
Favorite TV show? Oh, gonna be the Sumo Channel.
Do they have a sumo channel that you just watch?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
When we go back to Japan, I told my son I want to go to this. I want to go to this stable.
Nice.
My cousin them is like, oh, go see Masashi Maro stable, but I'm like, I watch these guys every day, but I like, you know, they get the. It's kind of like the Hawaiian culture.
Uh-huh.
He brought in older guys, and get all these young kids at 15 joining one sumo stable, giving up their life, and it's all family. I mean, we're cooking food, learning discipline, learning respect, learning that if you're on the bottom of the totem pole, this is what you got to do. When you get high on the totem pole, you get lesser responsibilities. It's the same like the Hawaiian culture.
Nice. I love that.
Teaching the bottom generation. You know, I love that. I love that stuff.
Well, what is respect to you? I know it's a word that we use, you know, very loosely. Like, hey, respect this, respect the kupuna. But like, what is respect?
Respect to me is don't do stuff that you're not supposed. Like, if the thing says stay on top this side of the guardrail, then stay on this side of the guardrail. Don't go over the guardrail. You know what I mean? The sign is there. The guardrail is there for a reason. And then at the end of the day, us hard-earned workers got to pay for that helicopter that went fly over there for rescue you. You know, it's crazy. I mean, and that's respect. Like, just follow the rules. Just do what you're supposed to do, and not gonna be no problems.
What if you don't know the rules? How are you supposed to respect?
Just you yourself use your best judgment of what is right and what is wrong. You know what I mean?
Or follow as the locals
as the locals do. You know what I mean? You know, so, I mean, I like to use that scenario. You go Makapu, right? You see the people over there all the time on the other side of the rocks. Yeah? And then what happens? You know, they think, oh, don't turn your back. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. You see what's going to happen.
Bombay, you learn. That's how they learn.
Right? Be here, not there.
Right on. Okay, last one. Favorite travel destination?
Favorite travel destination? Gotta be Japan.
Seems like you're a big Japan guy.
I mean, I got to go to Japan with Uncle Buff and my cousin Rusty. Yeah, we did a thing over there. But I guess as you get older and what we've been talking about, the culture. Culture and the respect.
That's one of the most respectful cultures I've ever seen.
And no matter if there was a hiccup in one generation or what, everybody still live the same way all the time though. Like it's lovely.
We can learn a lot from them.
You can learn a lot. And not only in that atmosphere, in that aspect, I mean, I guess I watch a lot of these shows too because you look at Filipinos and Japanese, they live forever, bro.
Yeah. They walk a lot.
Bro,
eat pretty solid.
When we had our tour company, they used to tell me, Uncle, don't worry about the middle age. Don't worry about the older Asians. Worry about the middle age and the young ones. They're out of shape. Literally, we would have 70-year-old, 75-year-old ladies and uncles would just jump out of the van like nothing and run up the top of the pink pill box and come back down. For real. My son be like, Dad, I go like, bro, like, how did these guys do it? So that's my thing at my age, getting like that. It's like, I just find out like what these guys eat every day, and it's vegetables, bro. Vegetables, soup, like this. I don't know. That's just how I think now, because I just see too much. I mean, we love our Kaloha pig, we love our pork, but those things is just killing us guys too at the same time.
The plate lunches, and the mixed plate, huh?
Yeah, man, we kind of get away from that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, a lot of us Hawaiians too, bro. We get that blood clot, blood circulation in our blood, right? You see them all the time for all of us guys, right? And I get it too. And yeah, bro, fucking, you just gotta eat good, bro. It's hard, bro, because I love my food too.
Yeah,
I love my poi, and I love my sardines, onions, and tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, again, everything in moderation, not just food, but everything. But right on, that's all we got for you today. Mahalo so much for coming in, sharing your story, sharing your mana'o. We really appreciate everything that you do. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up? If not, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, Kanaka.Solutions. Or, there's all the information on top there. Other than that, you can always find us guys the third weekend of every month up at the Royal Hawaiian Golf Course up in Monowili. We take care of those guys up there, and you can find us guys every single day at Waikai in Effa. We out over there every day. We take care of that property 24 hours, and in the surf road, you can always see us guys over there.
Yeah.
But if not, you need you need something for security wise or whatever it is, taking somebody off your property, whatever. You can just hit me up or DM me on Instagram. That's the best way to get a hold of me, and I appreciate it, bro. I really enjoyed this. I was actually just kind of nervous. I was telling my wife, I was like, bro, right, this guy asked me some of these questions. I'm gonna have to dance around these bugger.
No. I go based off of you.
So
yeah,
I'm super happy about that. We got to finally sit down after that first encounter of each other.
Yeah, and that's cool. I hope more people can do stuff like that instead of judging. Be curious and start these conversations. Have a great conversation and try to understand others instead of just jumping to conclusions.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, super cool. Well, mahalo, Kimo, for joining us on the Keep It Aloha podcast. Spread love, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and remember to always keep it aloha.